Today we're going to look at everything wrong with Magic the Gathering Spider-Man set. Now, if you're a huge fan of Marvel, I'm sure you're pretty happy about it. I've heard everyone who loves Spider-Man is loving the new Spider-Man set. But if you're not that big into Spider-Man, a lot of people have problems. And so, you know what? My market research on Twitter basically has told me that there's a lot of anguish against this particular set. I'm going to give my own take, my only problem, and that is the flavor of the cards. Some of the cards have like very poor flavor, or it's very obviously putting the skin of a character on a card that has nothing to do with it. So one example of many is like Carnage, Crimson Chaos, a 4-mana 4/3 symbiote villain. Now it's got Trample, which is like sort of fine. Carnage is a very powerful villain. When Carnage enters, return target creature card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Oh, I'm sorry. When did Carnage reanimate people from the dead? Like, ever? Now, I understand Carnage. I'm a smidge niche fan of Spider-Man. I remember Carnage, there's something called Maximum Carnage. I believe Carnage, recruited a team of big bad villains. However, I don't remember, and I could be wrong because I'm not a deep lore fanatic of Spider-Man. I don't remember him bringing back anybody from the dead. The creature attacks each combat if able, and when this creature deals combat damage to a player, you got to sacrifice it. Also has Mayhem, which I guess is fun. Like, I guess the mechanic sounds the same. Now, I didn't realize how far off the flavor of the set was from the cards until I saw the Spider-Man Secret Lair cards. Because when you look at these cards, they're amazing. Like, these are actually good. So first off, we have Damnation. We all know what Damnation means. You're getting all blown up. You have this big picture of Venom just tearing apart the city. The picture and the card, they match completely. 4 mana, destroy all creatures. They can't be regenerated. Dark Ritual. What gets darker than Venom? And he's basically turning into, the symbiote is taking control of Eddie Brock and, becoming Venom. Add 3 mana. Then we have Peer into the Abyss. You got the Venom stare over there. Not to mention, okay, these were really good. Surgical Extraction. I guess not technically extracting the symbiote from Venom, but basically blasting out of existence for the Phyrexian mana, and also, choose target card in a graveyard other than a basic land, search its owner's graveyard, hand in library for any number of cards with the same name, and exile them. So basically, we're exiling the symbiote, also exiling the cards. And Tendrils of Agony. The symbiotes, they have tendrils attached to them. They deal damage, and just like the Tendrils of Agony, target player loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. So once I saw these Secret Lair cards, I realized, holy crap, the rest of the set actually has very bad flavor. I mean, or you have to try really, really, really hard. It either, doesn't make any sense with the card itself, or you have to try really hard to, oh, yeah, I guess that explains it. That's probably what they were going for. Yeah, the Tendrils is perfect. And I was like, the whole Spider-Man set should have just been like this. I mean, in essence, a bunch of Secret Lair cards, right? So that is, and as a passive, I want to say, I go with the flow for the most part. Magic the Gathering has changed so much for the decades that I've been playing it. This is another change that I just go with. But if I were to nitpick on something personally, I feel like if you're gonna bring the characters to the game, they actually should make some flavor sense. And I didn't think enough of these cards made any flavor sense whatsoever. It's just all right, here's a picture of Carnage on top of some other card that they designed and they called it a day. All right, so if you want to be part of the show, you got to explain, you got to give me a card and give me a reason for why you do not like either the card or the set, or what's the deal? Christopher B with Cosmic Spider-Man. I loathe 5-color as commanders at this point, and this is highly uninspired. Ah, yes, the all-powerful Cosmic Spider-Man. I don't know what to compare this to. Thanos? It's a 5-mana 5/5 spider human hero, and it's okay, for 5 mana, it does everything. It's got flying, first strike, trample, lifelink, haste. Oh, and apparently at the beginning of combat on your turn, other spiders you control gain flying, first strike, trample, lifelink, and haste until end of turn. Well, where's those spiders in the background? That would make some sense, actually. You have the Cosmic Spider-Man centerpiece, and in the background, you have all the other spiders, or spider people, and, they're getting buffed up as well into, big... Well, whatever. Cosmic Spider-Man is leading the charge. In this case, Cosmic Spider-Man is leading to nothing. Next up. Oh, and Jonathan also liked the Peer into the Abyss, great for Venom. Oh yeah, these, I love this. Like when I saw these, I was like, holy crap, these are great. These are insane. Why isn't the whole set like this? I bet they could pull it off too. And I bet it would upset less people. Beanpot is like, biggest problem, a collector box is currently $690 on TCG Player. That is a problem for a lot of people. A lot of people do not like that the price of the... Can we get a collector box up here? You said eBay? Let's go to FusionGamingOnline.com. What is a Spider-Man collector box? I don't think I'm searching this up properly. Damn it, they're not showing anything that's out of stock, and I'm sure it's completely out of stock. We're just gonna have to believe it. Yeah, can I find an image of a collector box? Can we do that? Let's go look for it. So a lot of people don't like the fact that the cost of everything in Magic the Gathering is going up by a ton. Spider-Man collector booster box. And I don't think it's gonna get any cheaper. Oh, we found something. It is on Fusion. $949.99 in Canadian dollars. It's a Canadian site. They do sell in US dollars, so they'll do the exchange for you if you really want to be a part of that. What's it called? Oh, we have 7 units in stock, so we are not completely sold out. This is the collector booster. I guess this is a display box. Honestly, I don't buy sealed product, so I don't know the difference between one booster box and another booster box. But can we not be like, is there any unique cards in the collector booster boxes by any chance? Because if you have premium cards in the collector booster boxes and they're $1 bazillion, does that really change your ability to acquire the cards if they're also cheap in the regular booster boxes? I understand people want the flashy, shiny things, but they are jacking up the price. All right, they're jacking up the price because for everybody who's got money in this world, the people who are they're just somehow bleeding thousands and thousands of dollars in their wallet. Wizards is going to keep pushing up these prices to infinity. That honestly, though, is not really a Cosmic Spider-Man particular problem. It's just going to be a problem in general for all Magic products going forward. Dear Brendo, I think they severely underestimated the amount of people who like comic book characters in Magic the Gathering. I actually don't think so. I think they underestimated how many people would appreciate Spider-Man within the core Magic the Gathering group. So the more... I think Spider-Man is just going to be the beginning. So if like this irks you, like it irked a lot of people with Lord of the Rings or whatever. Like there's like some people like me with I love Lord of the Rings. I thought it was very flavorful to Magic the Gathering, but there's other people that are like, no, that has nothing to do with Magic at all. There's nothing to do with Magic at all. So some people sucked it up, like me. Then there's going to be another range of people who are like, this has zero to do with Magic. There's no elves or wizards. This has nothing to do with it. This is The Walking Dead all over again. And there's a lot of people who can't tolerate that. But I have no doubt that they are going to sell the crap out of this to the people who do love Spider-Man. DLA says, I watched the professor open those boxes, and most of the time you don't make your money back. I think that's the case in, like, just Magic the Gathering in general. in general, to be honest. Will Anderson, you got to give me some cards. Does anyone have any cards to explain? Will Anderson, the magic of Magic is gone due to Wizards of the Coast greed. Pre-modern is ironically the format of the future, or Pauper. I'm really not that concerned about the future of Magic. It's just going to change over time, as it's always changing anyway. Almond, Peter Parker. Okay, so I imagine, I don't know if there is a particular point that you have with this, except that we have multiple Peter Parkers to choose from. There was something mentioned a little bit earlier in chat that when you look up a card now, there's multiple versions of the card. So when just looking up cards, I mean, if you look up Peter Parker, you're going to get this Peter Parker. You're also going to get, like, Spider-Man, Peter Parker. It's 2 Peter Parkers. But there's, I'm sorry, it's 2 Peter Parkers in this game, and there's 2 separate cards. Oh, there's also Peter Parker's camera, but I guess you could chain filter for that. We got Jeff, the amazing acrobats. I don't know. It shouldn't have been a version of Drix on amazing acrobatics. Should have been a version of Drix Interception. Should have been a fog effect or temporary indestructible effect. The 3-mana instant. Choose one or both. Counter target spell or tap up to 1 or 2 target creatures. This is, yeah, I do what you're right, actually. So this is like, you know, you in the image, you see somebody is dodging a spell. So therefore, maybe no combat damage should have been done. How are we countering a spell with this? You know, countering spell is like forcefully preventing the spell from being cast in general. This is a complete aerial dodge. So huge flavor fail. It's another flavor fail on top of all the other flavor fails. Spider UK has no flavorful effect, and the flag looks like it's been made with AI. Let's look at Spidey UK. So I've heard this. I've heard this a lot. We live in a weird time right now where now, given that AI exists, it's going to be really hard to tell if artists are using AI or not. And for certain, probably some of them are. And we're just not going to be able to tell who's doing it and who isn't, unless it's like incredibly blatant. But like if they, let's say they used AI and they traced over it for their own image, like who's going to be able to tell? So a lot of people say that the flag was made in AI. I can't speak to it or not. But I know this is not the first or last time people are going to accuse the artists for using AI. Personally, I don't really want to accuse artists of this type of thing unless they're like really caught red-handed, like really caught red-handed. Just like how I cover cheaters, I don't want to accuse someone for like by accident. So that it's like for me personally, you got to be like 100% certain. 100% certain. The flag is awful. So we can still blame the artist for making a terrible flag. They have, I suppose they had no reference. Had no reference image for this thing. Oh, Almond, I wanted the 3-color flip. Well, what's the so what's your deal here? Okay, you want the 3-color flip. So what about it? You got to give me a reason. So what irks you about this thing? Is it because it's a 0/1 for 2 mana? You got to pay 4 mana to transform it. Enters the battlefield, you get a green spider. It makes it sound like the spider came out of its butt and then bit it, I guess. And then you have an amazing Spider-Man. Next. Okay, DLA. Rent is due sounds like a divorced dad's car. Oh no! It's a white enchantment. At the beginning of your end step, you may tap 2 untap creatures and or treasures you control. If you do, draw a card. Otherwise, sacrifice this enchantment. What? Sounds like a divorced dad's card. Rent. Oh, because what? They got kicked out of the house. They gotta pay rent now. Okay, Chows. Sun Spider Nimble Weber. Sun Spider. Why is the right arm so tiny? The shirt sleeve is the same size as the other, but his arm is tiny. You know, this might be a function of... Okay, I didn't have anything to do with the art direction of this set. But in comic books, not everything makes sense. In fact, I think most of the time it doesn't. To depict how something is moving or if something's really close or far away, then, you know, they do things like exaggerate some parts of the body while minimize others. I mean, I think, like, you can say, why is the torso so big and the legs so skinny? But I think that's just how it is. Should sacrifice a land instead. What, for the rent is due? Wasn't there an artist whose art for one consisted of like 4 sources? Yeah, Trouble in Pairs. Plagiary has been caught multiple times. But I don't think anyone's proven to find AI art in the art, or maybe I've missed it. Next up, okay, Alan. It just might be me. Well, everyone is like just might be me, but bagel with schmear just seems like to do too much for a single bagel. Just gonna look up bagel. Where is this card? Where's this bagel card? Oh, bagel and schmear. Just seems like to do too much for a single freaking bagel. Like, how's it doing all that? Is it radioactive? All right. This is the most powerful bagel you've ever seen in the world. Maybe in New York. Even better than that, New York. 1 mana food. It's got share for a white tap. Share. Sacrifice this artifact. Put a +1/+1 counter on up to 1 target creature and draw a card. Activate this ability as only as a sorcery. Then Nosh. Pay 2, tap, sack the artifact. You gain 3 life and draw a card. Frankly, you're right. It probably should just be a food. That's it. Food, and maybe it scries something for you. That cream cheese. This gives Spider-Man a little bit of a boost, a little bit of insight into. It gives him heightens his spidey senses. But that's about it. Rent is due should have cumulative upkeep. They wouldn't want to bring that back, though. That's the problem. Okay, Algod. If this even counts, a problem I have is, why is there a Deadpool card but no Gwenpool card? What do you mean? Gwenpool? Make it sound like there is a card. So you're saying there's no Gwenpool, but there's a Deadpool. Well, this is not the Deadpool set. This was a secret lair drop. There wasn't a Deadpool set. That's basically it. Maybe they will make a Gwenpool at some point. They made a Gwen Venom because, well, you know, Venom's part of Spider-Man. That's part of the universe that he lives in. Or she lives in. Magnum Opus Gold with Anti-Venom. Should have removed poison counters. Ooh, so the 5 white for a 5/5 symbiote hero enters if he was cast. Return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Did Anti-Venom also reanimate people from the dead? If damage would be dealt to Anti-Venom, prevent that damage and put that many +1/+1 counters on him. I really can't speak to the lore on this one. Dude, that's also like one small awkward thing is like, okay, so I know some of these characters. I'm like, this flavor is like super off. And then I look at Anti-Venom. I've like never seen it before, never heard of it before. So I just have to like trust that this card has something to do with the actual comic book. Tommy said it's like, when you are trying to break the immersion of life, only be reminded rent is due. That's right. There's nothing more real than the what's it called, landlord letting you know that rent is due. Okay, Algot, Gwenpool is a real superhero, but within the Spider... Oh, is it from the Spider-Man universe? Can we look for Gwenpool? Gwenpool. I don't know what I'm getting into here, so I'm going back. I have no idea what Google's going to show me. Green Goblin isn't... isn't green. I can't remember. I heard some arguments against the Green Goblin. So here's the Green Goblin. Yeah, not very, very green. Well, the flavor's not green, to be fair. I mean, maybe it could have been Jund. Would that have been that big of a deal? But, like, what part of green would have been the Green Goblin, just by flavor-wise? You know, green is just a name. And ends up being actually Rakdos. 3/3 Goblin, human, villain, flying. Whenever you discard an on-land card, put a +1/+1 counter on target Goblin you control. Whenever you discard a land card, create a tap treasure token. Like, okay, you know what the Green Goblin does to attack? Throws those pumpkin bombs. Green Goblin should have had a very similar effect as, like, what's it called? What's the Goblin? Siege Gang Commander. So let's get Siege Gang Commander on. Siege Gang Commander. This is like a 5-drop, enters the battlefield, you get a bunch of 1/1 red goblins, and you hoof! You hurl the goblins for 2 damage. This could have been the same thing with the Green Goblin. Comes into play, you get like 5 pumpkin grenades or some crap like that. And for 1 mana, you can throw the grenade to deal 2 damage to target creature or player. Some nonsense like this. Algot says, clarification, Gwenpool is the realest superhero ever. Her backstory is that she's a real person who was... I seeked into the Marvel Universe? What the hell? Doesn't make any sense. Let that go? What do you mean? Oh, you mean the green thing? I personally have nothing against the green goblin not being green. I mean, like, it's a flavor thing, you know? It's purely for flavor. Nikachu should design for Wizards of the Coast. So I bet there is a bit of a problem with describing the card as I did, because it would be hard to I can tell you this much. It'd be hard to translate that for what Universes Within. So how do you make like a Universes Within card that also makes a bunch of pumpkin grenades? Like, what character makes pumpkin grenades? Unless you could just have some generic grenade thing, but that in this game, or sorry, in the Spider-Man set, the grenades, the token looks like, you know, the pumpkins, whereas in Universes Within, they can just be regular grenades or something. You know, that's all. I'm always thinking about the flavor. Like, I'm always thinking about the flavor. Like, this Green Goblin has nothing to do with the flavor of anything I saw in the movies or the comic books, as far as I'm concerned. Okay, Argentina with the hot dog carts. We were all looking forward to the hot dog cart. Why you pay mana, not treasure, to buy a hot dog? When you pay mana. Oh, that would be interesting, actually. Okay, so 3 mana artifact. When this artifact enters, create a food token. And... well, actually, it just enters, right? That's it. And then tap, add 1 mana of any color. It's a weird thing. Why is the hot dog cart... yeah, it could have been something like pay a treasure or sacrifice a treasure to get a food token, and then with that food token, you can gain life. That could have been an interesting card. It could have been like 2 mana. Maybe it could have even been 1 mana. How expensive can a hot dog cart be? The most expensive thing, I think, are the permits. The permits to run your hot dog stand. Next up, we have Jonathan with the Soul Stone. Oh, yes, strictly better cards for eternity. Why is this in the set? Maybe someone with more comic knowledge knows why. This, is this one of the Affinity Stones? I think, is there Affinity Stone, Soul Stone? I'm pretty sure this is one of the Affinity Stones. This is the Affinity Stone is a broad spectrum, blah, 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 blah. Well, the Soul Stone is one of the 6 Infinity Stones. Right, okay. So the deal is there is a gauntlet. Thanos made a gauntlet, and it needs like 6 stones of the universe in it. I think, is it 6? I just pulled this up from Google. Yeah, 6. So the deal is, yeah, the Affinity Stones. That's right. Yeah, are there 6 stones in the span of some sets? Probably. And I guess I don't know if you have all the stones together, the gauntlet will do something amazing. But the point is, this is the clear sign that this is the first of many comic book sets. They're probably going to have an Avengers one and a Fantastic Four. Who is in the Avengers? The Avengers was like Iron, so there could be an Iron Man set. There could be, we've done the Spider-Man set. There's... I'm not that deep in the entire Marvel universe, but basically this is the first of probably many stones, the Infinity Stones, that will get in. If you have all of them, I think you could just win straight. It'll probably just say you win the game. And if it doesn't, that'd be a massive flavor fail. Massive flavor fail. It's gonna be like if you activate the, I don't know, Thanos' gauntlet. If you control all stones, the Soul Stone, the next stone, you win the game. Okay, next up. Magnum Opus Gold says, I will play my bagel, then add 1 mana from my hot dog cart, then take a picture of it with Peter Parker's camera. That's funny. I hear a lot of debate. People don't like this card because it's just, you know, it's a strictly better card than... Well, what was the reason? Why did we pull this up? Why is this in the set? Maybe someone know. Oh, yeah. So that's the reason why it's in the set. And then some people don't like it because, like, it's like a strictly better mana rock in black. Ooh, but I'm looking forward to the blue one. I'll put it straight in my commander deck. But in my opinion, I think every single time we think about this, every single card is a strictly better card, so it's an automatic include. But there's a point where you push out old automatic includes. So, like, you have to make a choice between this automatic include and another automatic include. Even in Commander, I don't think you have enough space for all of them. Omen with the super chat. We just looked at Anti-Venom. Feels like nerfed Phyrexian Vindicator. Let's just go back. We're not that far from the Anti-Venom. You think this is... Well, it's like a different Phyrexian Vindicator. It's alternate universe Phyrexian Vindicator. You see, Phyrexian Vindicator... Is it Vindicator? Yeah, it's Phyrexian... No, Phyrexian Vindicator is the one that makes you sacrifice cards, right? So this is the alternate one. It brings the cards back in some weird way. But thanks for your opinion. Invisible Gaming. This set is fine because they are bringing it to Arena as through the Omen paths. Otherwise, I wouldn't care much. That is easy for you to say as an Arena player. If you're a paper player, you're doomed. You have to... well, you don't have to play anything. Like, so far, I don't see a single card from this entire set that I can play in my Modern Merfolk deck. So, I mean, it's just going to be me versus the Soul Stone. But I'm not going to be forced to play with it. Frankly, okay, this looks like a Magic card. So, I don't have, like, that big of a deal with it. The Soul Stone. We have so many stones in this game. Soon enough, they'll bring out the Kidney Stone. Next. Who has no... it's not a no card yet thing. It's no opinion yet. Tommy Siddons, Mr. Negative has positive power and toughness. Is that a card? Mr. Negative. Is this a real card? Oh, it's literally Mr. Negative. It should be called... Oh, I guess it's like the negative though in the image. The image is a negative. Oh no, Invisible, don't worry. Today everyone can give their criticism. I am welcoming the criticism, all right? We can offload the criticism. We're going to constructively criticize. And I have no problem, almost no problem with anyone's opinion, even the negative thing. This is a very buffed card for a creature that's supposed to be negative. Although if it was negative, it would be dead. It would be dead instantly. Vex says, the set is okay because it's Fleam. Is this the new... This is the Omen Pass thing. Who the hell is Fleam? Is the other side Fleam? Who's Fleam? I just looked up Fleam. This showed up. Activate only as a sorcery. Oh, this is the other side of like the Green Goblin. All right, so we have this weird looking thing. Wizards will make super bank. They're going to turn this into a bunch of plushies and keychains and car ornaments. And they're going to make good money off of this really weird-looking creature. You could play Spider Suit in Merfolk, can I? Spider Suit. 1 mana, equipment. Equipped creature gets +2/+2 and is a Spider Hero in addition to its other types. Equipped for 3. I don't think so. I am not playing that card. Jeff, Imposter Syndrome. Finally, a meme we can play. Imposter Sin. How do we find Sin? Oh, it's Impostor. I'm an idiot. It's my fault. My only problem with this card, I feel like the art got cropped off. Yeah, 6-mana enchantment. Whenever a non-token creature you control deals combat damage to a player, create a token that's a copy of it, except it isn't legendary. I think a little bit better would have been like, when a creature enters the battlefield, you may make a copy of target creature that's already on the battlefield. This is like a lot of work to get this thing online. Steve Cooper says this set is mostly chaff with few playable gems. So like real set, in my opinion. You know what, Steve Cooper? I feel like everyone has that opinion about almost every set, and then when the time comes, people will break the crap out of it. I don't know how many times, like, even the modern players are like, oh, Modern Horizons 1 is just a commander set. It's just full of garbage nonsense. And then, like, so many cards, like, completely upheaval the format. Because it only takes, like, it only takes even one card to completely change a format. You know, like Hogak, Nadu. So it only has to take one card that you think, wow, this is just nonsense. But then good players actually make it, they just break the crap out of the card and just completely change the format around. All right, we're going to talk more about your criticisms of the Spider-Man set, but we're going to thank our sponsor today, FusionGamingOnline.com. Of course, if you're a huge fan of the Spider-Man set, you might want to get them at FusionGamingOnline.com. Well, the singles last, because they're flying off the shelves. The Marvel people, they do love the set. From what I hear, if you're a Marvel fan, you're a huge fan of this set. Wizards marketing is very, very powerful. But if you're not into that, you can go in for the deal of the week, the 15% off all Secret Lair cards. You can also get Final Fantasy cards. You can get everything at FusionGamingOnline.com. I mean, I'm buying Legacy cards from here. They've got the entire inventory of Magic the Gathering. And when you buy cards, don't forget to use coupon code Nikachu at checkout to get 5% off all your purchases. We're also going to thank Mana Traders, the premier place to rent Magic cards online. Play any deck, any format you want. On Magic Online, of course. Why would you want to rent cards? Well, it's cheaper if you like to play a lot of decks and a lot of different formats. You don't have to be worried about the ban list because, well, your cards don't get banned. Mana Traders cards get banned. They love their cards getting banned for you. And you can support the channel using my Mana Traders link in the description below, or save 40% cash back on your 3rd month subscription using coupon code Nikachu_ZH4. All right, back to criticizing Spider-Man. The Amazing Spider-Man. Okay, well, let's get some opinions here. Okay, Jonathan, I think they could have put some effort into making some commander decks for Spider-Man, or at least one commander deck. They're busy. Like, yeah, you know what? I have a feeling this is just a matter of, like, they have so much to do. They're cramming out so many cards. They have to playtest so many cards. They don't have someone on hand to do that, I guess. Or do you know what? If they did, I wonder how they would do it, but it's possible. Maybe they'll do it somewhere deep in the future. The existence of commander sets based on Modern Horizons was a terrible idea. Well, it was like it. You know what they make these sets now? They're just trying to accommodate all the sets at the same time. Tommy Siddons, imagine if the chase card is one of the ones that comes with the action figure. People will have throwaway toys for cardboard. That is right. Is there an? I think I heard something like that. They like the action figure comes with a Magic card. Christopher B wants to say the Clone Saga. The Clone Saga needs to be at least 10 chapters long to properly capture the scope of the story. It could have been part 1. The Clone Saga part 1, part 2, part 3. What does this even do? Surveil. When you next cast a creature spell, copy it, except the copy isn't legendary. Oh, okay, interesting. I have no clue about this story. I guess it's a long story though. Algot, why are there even many normal-sized Marvel sets based on different sub-franchises? It would be more convenient if there would just be one very large Marvel set. No, it wouldn't, actually. I'll tell you why. They want to milk it! You don't milk it by doing just one set. You milk it by making many sets. You gotta make it. That's how you milk these things. There's like a billion Marvel franchises. They don't want to make just one Marvel set. They want to make a billion Marvel sets. That's how they make that coin out there. Anyway, that's how it's done. Next up. They threw this set together in one day. I don't think they did that, but there's no doubt that probably it was rushed. Just like everything else these days in Wizards of the Coast design. Fred says this did not to be a full set. Why not just a precon or a secret layer? Yeah, we were talking. That actually is very true. The secret, because look at the secret layer is a banger. These aren't even the only cards. So we looked at these. These are insane. But there's other ones up here, like look, we have the command tower. You like your command towers, people? To be honest, I think the Soul Ring is awful. I'm not a fan of that Soul Ring. It's a belt. It's a utility belt of some sort. But then you've got the 3 visits. I thought that was awesome. And you have Lightning Greaves. I don't know what this is a reference to. I guess these are like really good Nike shoes or something like that. So, I mean, as a secret lair, it was perfect. It was a perfect secret lair. They had to make it a set, though. And remember, they did have to make it a set with the idea that they had to... They knew they couldn't hold on to the license online, so they had to make like a Universes Within version of the set. Soon it will be MTG Marvel the Gathering. Oh, no, bigger than that. Way bigger. It's going to be MTG Universe. It's like you have to go MTG Universes Beyond Marvel the Gathering. Because, I mean, there's way more to the world. I mean, we're gonna have a Power Rangers set. Like, just think about all the intellectual properties Hasbro owns by themselves. So much. Yeah, so belt. Charles should have been like 40K. 4 commander decks. Could have been. It could have been. Yeah, they're experimenting big time. I think the biggest surprise to me was there's like these are standard legal. Oh really? Well, that is just great. They want people to play standard with these cards, and when we look at standard, and they're it's empty. It's a horribly unbalanced format. The best deck, Vivi, is very unfun to play against. It's incredibly oppressive. It's a borderline. I want to say it's a modern power level deck because it didn't quite make its way there, but very strong. Bill, in my opinion, I don't care about this set. Maybe some cards are useful for Pauper. That's it. I'm really in line with what you're saying, Bell. Frankly, with the Commander products, they just come by constantly anyway. Like, even before this Spider-Man set, I barely pay attention to the sets. You know, I know we do these set reviews, but at the end of the day, I don't remember any of these cards, and I only remember them based on, like, whatever people are playing against me in Modern and Legacy. Or Pioneer when I'm playing it. Chinos! City Pigeon. Why does it... Oh, here we go. The City Pigeon. It's like, and that's... It should have been... Do you know what? It should have been a legend... This is not any City Pigeon. This is a legendary City Pigeon. Should have made it legendary. Okay, why does it make a food token when it leaves if it's stealing your food? The flavor text even says the bird stole the food. Oh, too true. If anything, we should be eating the City Pigeon, right? That's how it's done. Flying when this creature leaves the battlefield, create a food token. Okay, I guess the flavor is that it was flying with the food, and then when it dies, it leaves the food. That's the closest I can think of. But really, it should be like when it enters the battlefield, create a food token, then when it dies, all that's left is the food. That would have been made a whole lot more sense. Visible, I think they are making most, if not all, the Marvel sets on Arena in an in-universe version because of licensing issues. That is correct. That is correct. Just a bit weird. They have to make double the arts, double the names for these cards. And I think it's hampering the flavor of the cards because they can't be too specific about, like, what the mechanics are. Like, they can't have, like, a... I don't think there's a... Is there a... You can't have, like, Spider-Man sense as a mechanic, because that's going to make no damn sense when it comes to the in-universe version of the card. Steve Cooper, I think all these collabs are appealing to other brands because money, and you don't have to make your own TCG. That will flop. That is correct. I saw, like, it's just the nature of the world these days. It's the crossover world. Do you know that Crocs does crossovers with, like, McDonald's and Nintendo? You can get, like, a Croc in, like, you can get Crocs in all sorts of weird crap. Anyway, it's what brings people, I guess it what brings people to Crocs, I guess. I don't know how successful the strategy is. You fry the bird. We eat it. No one said the bird actually died. One of the pigeon wore the bagel. Smart. You gotta think smart. Did Nikachu check Electro? I did not. But what do you have to say about it? I'm gonna look at Electro. Where is the Electro? The assault battery. I assume it's that one. The Fortnite method. Yeah. You got Fortnite, baby. Fortnite. I'm sure that's how they make their money. I'm not too sure though. Who's your favorite character in Fortnite? Algot says, because you are summoning it to have it steal from somebody else. No, it's the thing, it died. So when it died, it left the food. So I think what it is, it came with food, and then when it died, it basically let it go. Algot says, Gwenpool doesn't even have any superpowers at first. She just knows she is the main character. Algot, you have this huge crush on Gwenpool. And thus exploits her plot armor to trick the other characters into thinking she has invincibility. Huge fan of Gwenpool over there. Hasbro owns Peppa Pig, so maybe we will get that set. Yes! Peppa Pig! It's going to be huge. Almond with Redemption. I love the flavor of Black Cat. Cunning Thief. So we now have 2 Black Cats. We literally have Black Cat. We also have Black Cat Cunning Thief. What about it? Okay, love the flavor. Just seems weak as a commander, but good in the 99 of Prosper. Yeah, well, I mean, not everything has to be a commander, right? But this does have to be a legendary creature. 5 mana, 2/3, enters, look at the top 9 cards of target opponent's library, exile 2 of them face down, put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order, and you can play the exiled cards. And you can spend any mana to do it. At least Fortnite just has skins, doesn't change the game. In a lot of ways, these are skins in paper. If you want to play the game as it was originally meant to be played, you play on Arena in the Universes Within version. These are all skins to me. It's all skins. Did Gwenpool ever meet Spider-Gwen? I have no idea. Well, we did do Transformers inside Brothers War and the MLP charity secret lair, so they just might. Oh yeah, I mean it's all breeding grounds. When they, so like Mark Rosewater said, what was it The Walking Dead? Who's something from Walking Dead? I don't think I can look up Walking Dead. No, that's not The Walking Dead. I think Rosewater said like The Walking Dead was the most successful secret lair of all time, or something to that effect. It made big money, and that was just the starting point to just bleed off into and evolve into what this is right now. In fact, the lack of Leo Pardon Japanese Spider-Man is huge disappointment. Really? Where is this Leo? Okay, hold on. Leo Pardon Japanese Spider-Man. So they missed a Spider-Man. What the hell am I looking at? This looks like it's not from Spider-Man. Correct me if I'm wrong. It says Marvel database, though. Is this real? What am I looking at here? You know, I look up Leo Pardon on Google, and it just looks like something from Power Rangers, to be honest. But I do see Spider-Man associated with this thing. It is real. Doesn't even look like it. It looks like a toy. At least this one does. Black Cat was reskinned as, I think, someone from Gasper. Probably. I lost hope after the SpongeBob cards. I have not played against the SpongeBob card yet. Not yet. No one's played the counterspell versus me. It was a 70s Japanese kids show? Really? What the hell? It is real. He is the emissary from Hell Spider-Man. What the hell? Okay, Turiat with a card. Spectacular Spider-Man. Honestly, it gets tiring seeing so many version of the same characters. I'm not talking about Spider-Man variant, but there are like 5 Peters Spider-Man in the set. Yeah, there's like a million Peter Parker Spider-Man. There's quite a few like Spider-Mans of different universes, and looking them all up sucks. You like even with we looked up Spider-Man 2099, and it threw up like several different Spider-Man cards. Okay, this is a 2-mana 3/2 Flash! As if this is the only Flash Spider-Man. Another weird thing is all the different Spider-Mans have different abilities. Some have Flash. Some gain flying. Some don't. I thought these all are web slingers. And for 1 mana, sacrifice Spectacular Spider-Man. Creatures you control gain hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. Maybe if it loses a bunch of money, Hasbro will rethink their approach to MTG. You know what the biggest problem is? If this appeals to Commander players and sucks more people into Commander, I don't think that plan's going to fail. Especially since Commander is above and beyond the most popular way to play Magic the Gathering ever. Ever, ever, ever. So if you're a tournament player, sort of sucks for you right now. Sort of sucks. You know, formats just left for dead. More and the ecosystems eroding. But Commander exploding, super exploding, which makes it just even weirder that they made all these things standard legal. Very, very, very strange decision. But we'll see how it plays out if they can make revive standard back to its former form. Spider-Man is almost like the new Sliver with these different variants. New slivers, and they all help. Not all of them. A lot of them affect other spider. Some of them affect other spider heroes. Elixir with the super chat. Using Pithing Needle and similar to name Spider-Man is going to be... Oh my god. Yeah, the Borborygmus has nothing on this guy. Pithing Needle. I name Spider-Man. Huh? Which Spider-Man? The Spider-Man that gains flying. Or the Spider-Man that transforms. Whatever. So, like, there is... Within this rule, you are allowed to give more explanation, but yeah, this is going to be a bigger pain than people thought, because there could be someone would be playing, if they're playing a Spider-Man deck, they could be playing like every version of Spider-Man, so you have to be razor specific. Like, I don't know the name of every card when I play Pithing Needle. I'd be like, Pithing Needle, that your combo, your Planeswalker combo piece, you know it, I know it, that's all we need to say about it. Elgot says the whole joke with the Patrick Star card is for it to be a flavor fail in terms of what the card he is a reskin of, in order to make the flavor text of I don't get it become a flavor win. I have no idea what you're talking about. Christopher B with Lila. Holographic assistant. Just hate seeing AI assistants whatsoever at this point. Oh, you mean like well, we didn't say it was AI. It could be stupid. It could be as smart as the... What's it called? Is it Cortana on the Windows computer? What does this have to do with holograph? Whenever you draw a card, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. That I don't know if that has to do with a holographic assistant, but whatever. I wonder, did they have to change this at all? Calication, what's so special about the full art Soulstone 2K? If found, have you seen it? The Soulstone probably looks cool. Okay, here's the Soulstone, and here is... Oh, this... Oh my god, there we go! There's Thanos already! There he is! That's the big bad. There's a few full arts. That's... Don't you know who Thanos is? That's Thanos! Thanos snapped his fingers and poof! Everything, just like half the people died. Everywhere. Anyway, I'm sure Thanos is very popular. Currently retail, I don't know how legitimate this price is. Currently retailing at $881. Yeah, there's a Thanos. There's another full art. I don't know what it's worth though. The Soul Stone. This is cool looking. Unfortunately, I don't play black, so I'll never play this card. Actually, I think all the arts are... Honestly, I actually think this art is the best. I would like this one in full art the most. Above everything else. Okay, Nova Mackenzie. The Spider-Man set isn't the only one, but it largely feels rushed and uninspired, almost like custom cards that forgot the flavor. Yeah, that's how I started the show, which basically, well, I don't know how rushed they are with this thing, but the flavor is off on so many cards. Or they couldn't go... But, you know, doing this show today made me realize it's harder for them to go deeper on the flavor because they can't make too many specific mechanics in reference to the lore, because then that would make it impossible to translate to the Universes Within version. So they always have to make a card that can be translated into a Universes Within version. But that being said, the lore, the lore is definitely off with a lot of cards. Jeff with Oscorp. They're gonna pull our funding. Oscorp, I don't know why anyone would play this card. Well, it's a draft card. 4 mana, 1/5. 7 mana, draw 2 cards. I'll tell you this. You get some activated ability reductions, cards, cost reducers. That's what I was thinking of. Cost reducers to activated abilities. You'll be drawing cards in no time. Well, they made a text list one of that card already. Yup. Look at the Soulstone. Textless. We don't live in a world with text, which is funny because it's just as bad as foreign cards. People hate foreign cards because they can't read them. Well, you can't read this one either. What is it? Just a 2-mana rock that does nothing? What else do we have here? William, with the Japanese Spider-Man is like a motorcycling Power Ranger who also uses guns with a bunch of amazing catchphrases. He settles on Emissary from Hell, but also use Destroyer of Mushroom and more. Is that even lore? Is that I have a feeling this is just some fan-made nonsense. That doesn't sound real. Do I still have that picture? No, I don't. I took it down. Old boy says, I'm really torn. The effect of the Soulstone is at like less than $10 level, but maybe the flavor / collectability will keep it highly inflated. It's going to stay highly inflated. Well, first off, this is just a strictly better mana rock than all mana rocks, right? Like most mana rocks is like 2 mana, add a mana, and then you have some other weak crap ability. Maybe you draw a card. You can sack it to draw a card. This has 2 mana, indestructible, adds black, 7 mana tap, exile creature you control, to harness the Soul Stone, which also like protects your creature from removal. Once harnessed, its infinity ability is activated, and then with infinity, at the beginning of your upkeep, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. I mean, this is crazy. This is just a strictly, I mean, maybe from a competitive player's perspective, this is like, you know, whatever. From a commander player's perspective, this is just a strictly better mana rock than most mana rocks. So it is a must include for anyone that wants that edge. And this is a big edge. Like, what are the other mana rocks in this game? Like, I know there's like, what, Mind Stone? What is it? Commander's Sphere, is it? No, that's not it. There's a 2 mana one that adds Commander or something. Is it Command Sphere? No. I don't know what it's called. It's not Command Tower. Or is it Command Tower? No. It's not it either. I can't remember all the... Okay, Arcane Signet. Arcane Signet. I mean, like... So what do you want to play with? Okay, we have Arcane Signet here. 2 mana. Get this. It's 2 mana. Artifact. Tap. Add 1 mana of any color in your commander's identity. That's it. That's a staple to Commander. A lot of decks play this card. Or do you want to play the Soul Stone, which it does all this, and you can't destroy it. It's not going to be blown up. It's got indestructible. No, don't touch my Signet. Now, so anyway, because this is a completely strictly better card, then I think all the mana rocks at 2 mana, you basically have to play this card. And the ability is good. The ability is good. It's a bit clunky, but I mean, it's just a free roll. What else do we have here? Vex says, no, Japanese Spider-Man appears in the comics even. He appeared in the Amazing Spider-Man 12. What the hell is going on here? The Amazing Spider-Man number 12? That sounds early. That's super, super early. Elgot says, except they can because they can make a synonym mechanic that is treated as the same mechanic but has a different name, like how Miku Lost But Singing is the same card as Azusa Lost But Seeking. Well, that sounds nice. That is pretty cute, isn't it? But that, you know, that takes a lot of effort to line all those things up. We just have the Soul Stone. So if you play a 2-color commander, would you rather have Soul Stone or Arcane Signet? Probably the Soul Stone. Like 2 colors isn't that mana intensive, and probably you'll want the art. If you, I don't know what's the breaking point. Maybe 4 colors you'll want Arcane Signet. But like random mana, like this thing is too good to pass up, in my opinion. It's just way too good to pass up. Indestructibility matters rather rarely. Really? The harnessing takes forever to pull off and is only good in certain decks. Well, the point is... Well, so first off, if you're not super competitive and the games are really slow and clunky, this is super strong. If you are in a hyper-fast competitive... So this is like a must-include for the slow, clunky battle cruiser commander players. But then if you are a competitive player... You still want this card because it's going to technically be better than all your other cards. And not to mention, there is artifact destruction. There is mass artifact destruction in Even I don't want to say that there definitely is in CDH. I've seen it, but I don't know how common it is that they'll come after your mana because everyone wants to play with the artifact mana. No, Mackenzie says, "Whoosh!" As a great man once said, "I like to kick it for fun." What do we all have else here? Okay, we got Zix here. My legally distinct arachnid sense is tingling. Oh yeah, translating this Spider-Man set to the in-universes set. Yeah, that's hilarious. Yeah, my legally distinct arachnid sense is tingling. It's a very unique sense. Only for my universe. No other universes does anyone have this sense. Old Boy says, I'm not saying it's a bad card, but it's a pretty small improvement. That's my point. But my point would be to both the casual players, they have to have this card. And as a competitive player, like, how do I put it? In competitive Magic, it's really like even in CEDH, it's not that much big of a difference between playing shock lands and playing regular lands. But you have to play with the old-fashioned dual lands from Revised in order to get that edge. That edge is just so important to them because you're technically, if you're trying to technically play your deck to the maximum power level, you want the absolute maximum power level cards. Yeah, I mean, I agree. It's at a competitive level, it's going to be small because the only thing that matters here is that it's an indestructible mana rock, and that's it. Because pulling off the 7 mana ability is worthless to them. But that's that edge. You gotta need every little edge you can in this game. All right, if it adds 0.005% to my win rate, it's worth $66 to a lot of people. Definitely could be worth $100 to people. Okay, Miss Christopher B, will Scarlet Witch have an ability capable of removing a stone? Scarlet was the one that snatched a stone, I think, from the gauntlet. I have watched half of the Affinity Wars. Half of it. I think I saw like the Tony I don't feel so good thing, and I also think I saw the part where everyone came back to life. Maybe I saw both movies. But if I did, it was on a plane. Fred says, you're going to need this for each color, increasing the deck by $500. Absolutely. Open up your wallets, people. Although, it's only for the people who play 5 colors. I only play 1 color. I'm a 1-color person. I'm mono blue. I'm one of those people. Rock, was it? Where's the Rock versus Scissors Nation? Hold on. Rock versus Scissors Nation meme. There we go. Oh, it's I only pick scissors. I guess I'm scissors. I'm probably paper, actually. Yeah, here's me. Except I don't whine about it. I just suck it up. I try to adapt. I don't even know how I win. But anyway, I only play in tournaments where paper is good. Where my the metagame is all rock. I only pick scissors. And then the guy has rock, looking dazed. Oh, wow. Who could have guessed? Another lame-ass rock user ruining the game for everyone as usual. You did it, man. You got me. You beat me. You win. I bet it must feel so good. This is what's wrong with new heads. They don't get it like we used to. We really got to change the rule set, dude. It's not effing fair anymore. I wonder how relatable is this? It definitely shows up every so often in the Magic the Gathering community. No one's seen this before? People are reacting like you've never seen this meme. I've seen it like it gets thrown on Twitter every so often. Basically, people complaining about the meta, but I'm sure it can like be branched off into like League of Legends, maybe some first-person shooters. Oh yeah, you can just look up like Scissors Nation meme. It's very, very common meme. Old Boy says, wait, there is an Infinity Stone called the Mind Stone, so Oh, is there already a Mind Stone? So we will have Mind Stone and the Mind Stone in the game. We might have the Mind Stone Affinity Stone, but they didn't call it that for or maybe they'll just call it the Mind Stone. That's the Mind Stone. The Mind Stone's been in the game for the eternity. Who would have known that one of the Infinity Stones was actually in the Magic the Gathering universe? You never know. So yeah, I love this. It's hilarious. I only pick scissors. Basically, it's like just prove adapt or die. The Soul Stone costs too high. Should cost 0 mana, like the Mox Jet. What the hell? Being legendary adds indestructible. Well, then they'd have to ban it instantly. They could do that for flavor, like they do in Yu-Gi-Oh. In Yu-Gi-Oh, they will literally print broken cards for flavor and then ban them immediately. That's just a weird mindset. They're built different over there in Yu-Gi-Oh. I guess they could have really wild games like no ban versions of the game. The Mind Stone and the Mind Stone can exist. What is? Oh yeah, that's. Oh no! Oh no! That's right. Mind Stone and the Mind Stone TM are two different things. Yeah, Mind Stone has to be able to be destroyed. Yeah, so yeah, the Mind Stone is that doesn't exist yet. Let's look up the Mind Stone. Nope. Brings this nonsense up. I'd argue Wizards of the Coast did the same with Vivi. It's possible. Yeah, so we know the Mind Stone is coming. The real Mind Stone. That's it. We got it all out. My coffee crew. No more complaining. Imagine naming a card when naming against a deck with both. Oh, oh. Yeah, yeah, we mentioned that earlier. This set has made naming cards with like Meddling Mage, Pithing Needle, just that much more complicated. Like you have to be so much more specific about like what you're naming. It has to go beyond. Yeah, here's like that Elixir was talking about the Pithing Needle. You got to go beyond just the name because there's like more than one Spider-Man 2099. You got to talk about like, okay, which version, exactly which one that you really want to happen. Because then you're committed to it. You're going to be committed to it. You can't takesies backsies it. Christopher B says, Egrix. Christopher B is like the only person being part of the show properly. Egrix, the Bile Bulwark really needs some explanation as to how this thing is a hero. This card doesn't exist. The Bile, maybe it just doesn't work. It doesn't exist yet. Is this I guess this is a Universes Within card or something. It's just not on Scryfall yet. Turgot says, I kind of wish they made some dumb old Spider-Man villain like Big Wheel or the Wall. Oh, like some vanilla villain. They beats up in one comic book. Jonathan, I'm looking forward to the Guardians of the Galaxy expansion. Oh, you know what? I only know Guardians of the Galaxy through the Avengers, the whole Infinity War thing. They're awesome. They're great. They're probably going to make a really good. They're going to make a great. They're going to make a great set, is what I'm saying. All right, that's it for today. I hope everyone enjoyed airing out their grievances about this thing. But remember, they keep saying Magic is dead for like the last 20 years, and it keeps going on. You just have to enjoy it the way that you want to enjoy it. And I still enjoy playing Modern, and so on. And I hope you all do too. So as usual, we do this show 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. Be there or be square. Thanks to everyone who supports the show. If you're a patron on Patreon, a member on YouTube, or you Super Chat to be part of the show, or even Super Chat so other people can be part of the show. And of course, thank you so much, everyone, for being here today. Give me your opinion. People like Turiot, Jonathan, Christopher B, Endgame. We got Bryce, Steve Cooper, Calication. We also have Lil Deadfly, Jeff, Old Boy, Bell, and many more. So as usual, my coffee crew, keep brewing those coffees, and we will keep brewing up the magic. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you at the next cup.